our house, we still like to have a real Christmas tree every year, but the moment that Christmas is over, I want that sucker out. There's a lot of different ways you can dispose of it, but my favorite method is a chainsaw. So I'm gonna go sharpen it for the first time ever. I've made a couple of videos with this chainsaw, and in those videos you can tell how dull this blade is. You can see how I'm having to kind of saw back and forth at the wood, which I shouldn't have to do with a chainsaw. So it is time to sharpen it. Now, I just happen to have this file, which happens to be the exact same size as the chainsaw, and you can find these just about anywhere that sells chainsaws. You just make sure that you get the right size for your chainsaw, because they do come in different sizes. All right, now I am marking my starting point so I can make sure that I sharpen everything equally. You could use anything for that, but why not a little bit of pink nail polish? This is Chick Fix after all. The part that actually does the cutting on chainsaws is this little groove right here, and they go in opposite directions, one right after the other. So it kind of goes like this. If you're using a manual file like this one, you want to make sure that you do the same number of strokes on each time so that you sharpen the whole thing evenly. I'm going to do 10 on each because this thing is really, really dull. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10. All right, now I'm going to skip one because that one's turned the other way, and then this. All right, now I'm going to do the other side. Another way to sharpen this is with a power tool like a Dremel. Dremel makes a bit that you can buy to sharpen chainsaw blades. My original kit also came with a sharpening stone, which I'm going to try out. There is specialty equipment you can buy to sharpen chainsaw blades if you're going to do a lot of chainsawing, but for most people, either using a file or a Dremel like this is going to work just fine. Something else that happens to me a lot is this chain gets a little bit loose, and I try to get it as tight as I can, and to do that on mine, you take this key that came with it, this thing right here, loosen up these bolts. You could do this with a socket wrench set too if you don't have this key. You pull this out as tight as you can get it, and then you just tighten it back up again. Now another thing I'm going to do here is add a little bit more chain oil. Whatever you do, make sure that you're putting this chain oil in the correct hole. It's always important to get things in the right hole. It's kind of hard to see the level in there. That is a lot better. It's cutting through a lot easier now. Worth it! Hit the tree. Again, this is kind of an older chainsaw, and it's been... Sally! They had to pick now to have a conversation. Should also sell... Sells chainsaws,